We always knew we wanted kids. So I think that at the point that we did get married, we were ready, to then start having kids kind of immediately. That was always our plan.
By this point, we were, solidly in our mid-30s is what I'll call it.
And we didn't really think about the fact that it wasn't going to go as planned and we weren't going to immediately be able to have kids right away. And we figured out we were pregnant actually on our honeymoon.
Well, she had smuggled a pregnancy test onto the honeymoon without telling me in her luggage.
We had to wait a couple weeks till we were 8 or 9 weeks to do an ultrasound.
Right, and then we came in and had the bad ultrasound.
Yeah.
Then I could tell immediately there wasn't a heartbeat.
Yeah. I mean, the minute that we got the bad news, he was always positive and like, oh, it's okay. If it doesn't work this time, it'll work the next time. We'll try again. We'll try again. We're gonna have a baby.
And every month would pass and we would be trying to get pregnant on our own, and then we're doing IUIs, and every month would pass and we would not be pregnant, and there would be more tears and more heartbreak.
Struggling to get pregnant and then getting pregnant on multiple occasions and having miscarriages, it is tough.
Our hearts went out to them.
Eventually I called my buddy who's our OB-GYN and just said, I can't do this anymore every month. I gotta go nuclear. Where do we go? We were doing IVF.
But I was kind of just in a place where I wanted a baby so bad. It just sounded like, okay, sure, just sign me up. The way we did it, our first round of IVF, they implanted 2 embryos, and then
they were growing along.
Everything was good. And then we went back right at 9 weeks, and we lost the heartbeat. There was no heartbeat.
Miscarriages are the worst thing in the world for a patient to have to go through, because if you're not getting pregnant at all, you don't have that hope. But when you do get pregnant and you have this hope that you're going to have a baby and then you continually lose them, it's devastating to a patient.
It was almost exactly the same place that we had lost the first baby. Something's going on that we're not catching. We found out exactly what was our problem.
We had a chromosomal abnormality.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has genes, and when we recreate, half of your genes come from your mother and half come from your father. And when those don't recombine correctly, you can have abnormalities that can cause miscarriages. And that's what happened with TJ and Margaret, is when the genes came together in the egg and the sperm, they didn't form correctly.
They advised us that we should do something called pre-implantation genetic diagnosis, where they can genetically test it for chromosomal abnormalities as well as a number of genetic diseases as well. When I asked the doctor why weren't we told about this the first time, the reasoning was, well, the cost is such that we try not to encourage people to do it the first time, and my frustration was that should have been my decision, not yours.
All we wanted was to have a baby, and it was just a really hard process that we didn't realize was gonna take as much time.
We started the second IVF cycle, and luckily for us, they had 3 that came back normal. So we took the 2 best. If we know that the issue is this, these embryos don't have that issue, we're gonna be fine.
Everything was good. Instead of there being 2 growing, they had one of them, there was only 1. It was halfway through the pregnancy before I really started to believe that it was going to happen for us.
And start buying
things. That was
fun
fun
outfits
too.
and decorating and painting the room.
So after 2 years of trying, we were successful, and we welcomed our baby boy Wyatt home. Every day with him, we laugh, because it's watching him grow and watching him change has been one of the most fun thing that I've ever done. When Wyatt was 9 months old, we found out we were expecting our second child, Brookes. And since then, it has just been exciting, because to have our family be complete. I mean, the outcome for us was fantastic. And I would, now that I can look at him, it was absolutely worth it.
We would do the process exactly like we did it all over again, just because we want that exact baby because he's the most perfect little boy. But there were aspects of the journey through that process that could have been better. We felt like there was a better way of doing this. As a healthcare entrepreneur and having a background in building better care models, I saw a number of opportunities that I thought, okay, we can make this better. We can take the experience we had, make sure that patients behind us, while they have the exact same result that we have a much better journey on their way to that result.